And today at Louisiana Tech and Nicholls State University game, the Navy SEALs Foundation was awarded a check. Jasmine Bingham spoke to officials about how the money will benefit Navy SEALs.
Today, Brentwood Hospital and the Louisiana Tech chapter of Kappa Sigma Fraternity told me the money will be donated to benefit the families of fallen soldiers and support mental health wellness initiatives for Navy SEALs. Suicide Prevention Awareness Month begins on September 1st, and Brentwood Hospital Director of Development Rebecca Young says Brentwood Hospital provides mental health resources for those in uniform through their STAR program, and they are proud to sponsor the Kappa Sigma fraternity in this initiative.
Specifically for military and uniformed services, which is anyone else, besides active duty military, anyone that's worn a uniform. We have outpatient therapy and we have inpatient therapy for that. So it's just so important that we continue to build these community relationships with all our different foundations, and that we continue to work through making sure that these guys get the help that they need.
A member of the Louisiana Tech chapter of Kappa Sigma fraternity, Kendall Glover, says they spend time investing in initiatives like these to give back to those who made the sacrifice for freedom. He says all proceeds will go towards the SEAL Foundation to support Navy SEALs and families of those who have fallen.
Actually, every $5,000 raised off this event will go to help a scholarship for one of the dependents of a Navy SEAL that's fallen, as well as the mental health. It goes to help medical expenses in that way.
To help their dependents, and it's for the guys that don't come home, and that's just a fact. We got many friends that didn't come home, and somebody back here taking care of their families is of most important.
Nick says Navy SEALs appreciate the support of Brentwood Hospital and the Louisiana Tech chapter of Kappa Sigma fraternity. Reporting in Ruston, Jasmine Bingham, KNOE 8 News.